As you can see, we're going to be discussing, is the grass always greener on the other side? This is a saying, or a very common saying that's thrown around, especially in times of comparing to others and situations in your life. I'm going to delve into why this is unhealthy and hopefully open your eyes a bit wider to why you should be avoiding this if it isn't obvious already. The grass is always greener on the other side is a saying that usually is used when you or someone is comparing their situation or their life to the unknown, the betterness. Your situation right now, there's always someone who's got it better and there's always someone that's got it worse, right? If we're comparing, which I think is unhealthy to do on a day-to-day basis, but every now and then it's nice to have a judge or a perspective on how the world and everyone around you is doing compared to yourself. So if you're constantly going around saying, oh, the grass will always be green on the other side, meaning your situation will never be the best it can be, which is true, right? Because you can always do better. See, this is the intricate part of this saying, right? You can either view it A as negative or B as positive, as most things. The reason why you want to avoid obviously being the negative one, which I think is the most common, when you say the grass is always green on the other side, you shouldn't be saying that to put you down. You shouldn't be thinking, they've got it better than me. There's no point in me trying. There's no point in me doing this. Let's say I'm starting out tennis. I'm terrible. The grass is always green on the side. Someone's better than me. You're always viewing it as someone's got it better than you. Someone is going to be better at tennis than you. Yes, the probability of that is probably high if you only just started this sport, this example. However, if you use it as a motivation and as a positive, thinking, right, I'm in X position and I need to get to Y position because at the moment my X position is not very good. I want to be better and people are better than me. So how do I get from my position to their position? So, the grass that I have can be watered and grown to be greener like the others on the other side. If we flip this analogy as it is around and almost think outside the box with this one and start viewing your grass as a single entity like it should be, rather than just completely ignoring your own and looking straight at others, and water your own grass and let it grow and let it become greener and more fresh. That way, the grass can't be green on the other side, right? Because your grass is greener or is the greenest of them all. And flipping this analogy around allows us to have this positive aspect and positive perspective on life, right? It's another positive, perspective to throw into the mix of all the videos uploaded. If I'm always viewing this analogy as a negative one, like we mentioned, how everyone's always going to be better than me and everyone's going to have a better situation than me, albeit it may be true, it's always better to try. It's always better to give it your most, give it your all. And having this mindset of thinking everything is better than your situation doesn't allow that, right? It doesn't allow for that growth, that inner push to achieve more and better yourself, right? So the main focus from this that I'm trying to bring light to is that your grass is its own self. Have a focus on that and make sure you understand that you can grow your own grass just as everyone else can grow theirs. Yes, the grass may be green on the side, but it doesn't have to stay that way. And that's the important thing. It may be greener now, but as you develop, let's say the tennis example, you develop your skill, you get better and better. Your grass starts to develop itself because you're focusing on it rather than focusing on other people's grasses. This whole analogy just covers comparing ourselves to others and mainly our situations. And for example, the one I just gave you is tennis. This can be applied to, as usual, anything that you do in life. There may be situations, like life situations, that are very unhealthy to compare. So avoid doing that. I'm purely talking about hobbies, sports, abilities, and certain skills rather than emotional situations and life situations. Just remember, you're in control of your own grass. You are the farmer of yourself. You can grow as long as you provide yourself with the right nutrients and knowledge from these different avenues. You'll be able to make your grass greener. And just to reiterate why it's so bad thinking this way. If you're always constantly thinking that someone has it better than you, how is that going to make you feel mentally? You're going to be putting yourself down constantly, especially if you're doing it daily. And that's just not a nice way to live. You're not living a fulfilling life if you're constantly putting yourself down and down and down to the point where you have no grass anymore. It's just dirt. It's just, soil that has no seeds in it. You're not allowing yourself to grow if you're constantly in this comparing mode, which unfortunately now derives from social media. With constant comparing, yourself to everything you see on your phone. You need to snap out of it and allow yourself to focus on you. Focus on your grass and stop comparing, and you'll feel so much better, so much healthier, and so much more motivated and ready to tackle all these new problems that you may occur. So I want to leave you with a quote as always. This one has no author. You may think the grass is greener on the other side, but if you take the time to water your own grass, it would be just as green.